So you've probably heard the term Confluence thrown around a lot in the trading space. It tends to be somewhat of a marketing buzzword because the concept resonates with a lot of traders, and it makes sense, right? If you have three signals all telling you to go long at the same time, you have a higher expectancy than if you only had one signal, right? The problem is most people don't give enough thought to the characteristics of each signal. Now, obviously, every signal is not created equal. And by that, I mean, some signals are far more predictive than others, but let's just assume that signals we're talking about do all have positive expectancy, right? They check that box, where on average over time, they have a forecasting nature, right? It's incredibly important to also consider the relationship of the signals with each other. And this is where the confluence of independent variables comes in. So to truly take advantage of the concept of confluence, we have to be combining signals that are independent, where their predictive nature is not derived from the same data. Otherwise, we're actually doing more harm than good by creating a false confidence, if you will. And this can be tricky to measure, right? Because market dynamics are complicated. But a simple example, using two momentum oscillators, right, to confirm a direction would be concerning because they're likely highly correlated and don't provide a stacking of probabilities. So, I mean, if you're putting confidence into that decision because two things are saying the same thing, well, it might just be two things that are actually the same thing saying the same thing, right? So it's important to carefully consider the level of independence that your signals have when you're trying to leverage the concept of confluence. Remember, this is a business of probabilities. The reality is that there's often some level of correlation between combined signals, but the important thing is to understand, for traders thinking probabilistically, is that probabilities can indeed be stacked by combining uncorrelated signals. And I bring this up both as an education point, because I think quote unquote confluence gets misused quite often,